What's up everyone? AJ on Day Trader Boom or Bust here with today's recap. I hope you had a great trading day. I unfortunately was red once again, but more importantly, I stuck to all my trading rules, and that right now is the most important thing. I'd be lying if I didn't say that I'm disappointed with the current results that I'm getting, but again, I need to stay focused on what I'm trying to accomplish here, which is to stick to the rules that I've set for myself, which if I do that properly should end up helping me be a better trader in the long run. So let's talk about the day. Here's today's watch list. I post this every morning between 9 and 9:15 a.m. on my Twitter. If you want to make sure to catch that, go ahead and give me a follow at AJ Tabayan. So there's quite a few tickers here on the watch list, and that's because there was, I guess for the most part, a lot of potential in these, but I was going to make sure to even to narrow it down even further as we got closer to the open, and most importantly based off of how much volume we saw come in on them. But on the primary watch list, I had Plug and Tilray that were both trading on news, and then Apple and DKNG as continuation plays. And then on the secondary list, I had Facebook and Roku that had news catalysts, and then Uber and Nvidia both as continuation plays. So the most important number here, to me anyways, is this 5 number. As you know, I have limited myself to 5 trades a day for the remaining days this week after over trading on Tuesday. I stuck to that once again today, so I'm extremely proud of that. That's despite the fact that this disappointing number, which is a 0% win rate. All my trades were losers today, but you know, that's going to happen from time to time. Clearly, I need to possibly, I'll say possibly, and you'll tell you why in a second, possibly work on better execution, but and maybe better timing. But at the end of the day, I stuck to my rule, even though I'd be lying if I didn't say I was tempted to take another trade. But anyways, point is, stuck to that rule. I'm really happy about that. Now, you'll also notice I only traded 2 tickers today. And the reason for that also is because, you know, even though I have several stocks on my watch list, and if opportunities don't materialize on the first 1, 2, or 3 stocks that I'm watching from the open, then I will, you know, look elsewhere for opportunities. But I do like to, when I'm trading well, focus on 1 or 2 that are moving and cooperating with my strategies so that I can maximize that. Because I've found that, you know, if I pick the right stocks that on my watch list, then there's going to be opportunities on them throughout the entire day at one point or other. Maybe it might not be at the open, maybe it might be a little bit later, who knows. But you know, so that aspect of it is also a skill set I feel I need to, you know, obviously fine tune a little bit, because these 2 tickers that you'll see from the trades did not cooperate with my trade book plays, but I still felt I did okay with implementing them. So we started with Tilray here, and this was you know, an opening range breakout. Again, I didn't rush into anything here. You can see that Tilray traded in a bit of a range at the open. This is the high of day. And I was watching this, and I wanted to wait to see if it picked a direction. And you can see it through this upside down hammer right over here on decent volume. And then when it did that and through this big red candle, I went short at the break of VPOC over here, and what at the time what was you know, the 1 minute opening range. Unfortunately, as it was yesterday, I didn't get any continuation. It did go in my direction, but it came back on me and ended up stopping me out. So that was unfortunate. I took a .8 R loss, I think, on that, because I had moved my stop loss to just above the opening price here. And then after that, I traded DKNG. Now, DKNG is the same situation where, in the sense that I didn't get any continuation. So you can see here, DKNG pushed up at the open. It came back down. So it definitely set this clear range over here. This is the top of that second candle, but it seemed to be bouncing off pre-market high over here. It pushed up after this dip and then came all the way back down. Now, but overall, when you look at this, it was trending up. Okay, so I felt I was being patient, and I played my trade book. You can see that it broke the 20 SMA here. This was a doji candle that again broke that 20 SMA. So I was playing a continuation play. So once it broke above that, or was starting to push above this doji and above pre-market high, I went long. Unfortunately, it came right back on me and stopped me out. So I waited a little bit. I wanted to see maybe it was just a short consolidation before continuing. And it did push. You can see it. I waited a little bit longer. It was a little bit more patient. I wanted a clear push above the pre-market high. I went long, and unfortunately, it came right back on me here, which was disappointing. And those were two trades that were both losses. So at that point, it put me pretty significantly in the red for the day. And I was starting to get a little bit emotional there because it was just frustrating, because I really did feel like I was following at least my trade book, and I was being patient and not jumping into things. And unfortunately, it just wasn't working. Now, the truth of the matter is that's going to happen sometimes in the market. And I guess the emotions for me are that I really have not had a green day this week yet, which is extremely, it's just rare, because I went back and I looked at my data. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this as I review the week in the video, hopefully this weekend. But I went back and I haven't had an all red week where I was red every day of the week in 21 weeks. It was back the week of April 19th or so, something, that week there. I know 19th was in the middle of the week, but that was the last time I had an entire week where I was red. So this is a little frustrating. So I had to remind myself that I'm not to focus on results right now. I'm to focus on the process that I've set forward for myself. So let's, after that, I look back. I didn't want to get caught up like I did yesterday on DKNG. So I went back to Tilray, and let me see if it's a little bit more apparent, a little bit more visible here on the 5-minute chart. Yeah, so on Tilray, sorry, I'm just gonna. So Tilray was such a nice mover. You can see this huge push up in the pre-market, came all the way back down, and so I really felt that there was volume in this. I felt that there was going to be opportunities in this, and it was pushing down. So this was that first trade. So it pushed all the way up, set high a day, and then came all the way back down, and it looked really weak because on the L2 there were a ton of bids down low, and I just felt that it could really, after this push down, I felt that it could sell off for the day. On the daily chart, this high of day was bouncing off of the 20 SMA. So anyways, you can see that it threw this hammer candle, and then but failed to push above this level here. And and then you can see that there's this 100 SMA right here. So what I did was I went short once it broke that particular level with a stop loss at this level here. And all of a sudden, you can see here, the volume just disappeared. There was so much volume at the beginning, at the open, and it just disappeared. And because of that, it chopped in an even tighter range. So this was really challenging for me. I even posted this on my Instagram that this is the worst kind of price action that someone who's a momentum and breakout trader would ever want to see. I got in this trade at just after 10 a.m. and was in it still till 12:30, where it finally came back and stopped me out. Now I had moved my stop loss obviously to this VPOC level here, but man, I probably should have moved it to break even. This nearly touched 1 hour, but I've talked about this. I'm really not moving my stop loss to break even until I'm at like 1.5 R, but it wicked off of here, and I probably should have moved my stop loss to break even. Unfortunately, I got stopped out, and at that point, because it had consolidated so long, and I built a ladder to the top side, a bunch of ass, and it aggressively pushed up here. So I thought, you know what, if it pushes up, I may want to, take this long now, because there was almost, although originally I thought it was bearish, but there was a lot of resistance going on here, with the pre-market low and so on and so forth. So without any resistance here, if it could hold above VWAP, then I thought it could run. So with my last trade of the day, I went long here, right here. Sorry, this first one was my stop out. When it pushed above VPOC here and I thought it was going to leap above VWAP. I went long. It did push above VWAP. It closed above VWAP, but then immediately pushed down. At that point, I was like, I don't know what this is going to do at this point. And then unfortunately it hit my stop loss, and that was it for the day. So none of these trades worked out, but I really felt I traded well, at least with regards to the patience and waiting for potential setups, and it just didn't go my way. And because of that, I ended up finishing the day with a 4.2 R loss. So nothing crazy, but I just need to I just want to finish the week off strong. Definitely following the rules, but I'm not gonna lie, it would be really nice to trade well yesterday and get rewarded for it with some profits. So that's what I'm gonna, that's what I'm hoping for tomorrow. And hopefully we can make that happen and the market cooperates. So that was the day. And like the title said, this choppy price action is, just really got me. You saw those first 3 trades in the morning, they really should have ran. And there were a lot of other tickers that ran today that would have easily been able to be profitable for me, but these were the ones that I was trading, and it is what it is. So thanks so much for tuning in, and until the next recap, this is AJ on Day Trader Boomer Bust signing out. Cheers.